Oakdale Lodge is the result of decades of work by a small group of fiercely determined families wanting to create a better future for their children with disabilities. In the 1950s, parents were encouraged to hide their disabled children at home or institutionalise them at Willow Court. Disability and mental illness were dealt with in the same way, stigma and lack of understanding prevailed, and children born with disabilities were pushed to the outskirts of society. Even the language used back then to describe people with disabilities, like retarded, is considered offensive by today's standards. But the families of children with disabilities were about to drive for some big changes.
Social attitudes change. In the case of the physically or mentally handicapped person, the change has certainly been for the better. Gone are the days when they were hidden away from the world, their parents completely alone with the problem of their growth and development.
There are still many children and adults who, because of limited facilities, accommodation, transport, have yet to be catered for. The work of the Retarded Children's Welfare Association of Tasmania is and will always be ongoing.
In the 1950s, and remember this is only just after the war, really, there were very few facilities in the community for people with any sort of disability, and the conventional government institutions just didn't sit well with parents. So they really started that effort to initially provide a place where some education, specialist education, could happen, and that was Talia School. I remember my brother starting to go there, and it was seen then as an opportunity for him to have some social interaction and hopefully to develop whatever skills they could. Some little time after that, Yallambee Hostel out in Glenorchy was started as a way to provide accommodation for families who had children who lived away from Hobart, for them to come to Hobart for Talia and other activities.
Bye.
Where are you in the photo, Mary? Oh, you look so young.
As the original Talia School children grew into adults, they needed new support options.
Government didn't provide direct support, but they would give dollar for dollar funding. And as I remember, I think when people were thinking about this facility at Oakdale, and I think Gordon Jeeves was a prime mover in securing this site.
My father bought the land. He was a real estate agent, asked by the then owner of the land if he would sell the land. I remember father coming home, he was so excited. He had seen the parcel of land that he'd been looking for some time.
So, you know, they were into anything they could to try and find a way to raise funds that then they could get this dollar for dollar grant. Selling buttons on street corners, raffle tickets. Then that morphed to the Woman of the Year competition, recognising women who had achieved things. And that became an important fundraiser.
And I was invited along because the original premise for the when they formed the Acorn Group was that they wanted to have outside people other than family and friends on the committee to give an overview to the general public of what living with a disability was actually like. It has been said that the Acorn Group sort of provided things that actually make a house a home, the homely things like some paintings, lamps, which wouldn't necessarily be part of a budget for a place like this.
Some of the residents have grown up together, gone to school together, worked together, and of course lived together.
Me and Ronnie have been here 46 years together.
Graham, can you tell me how you came to be writing so much all the time?
Because I love it. His hobby. My hobby.
So how come you let Rodney read it and you haven't let anyone else read it?
Because I'm his mate. I'm his mate. My mate can look at it.
The Lodge is a community, And the relationships that have formed, many of them lasting decades, make it feel like a big, extended family.
Where are you, Rocket?
Here.
Paul was originally a support worker at Oakdale Lodge and retired as Live Tasmania's CEO in 2020.
You first came here in 1970?
Yeah.
And Rodney was here as one of the 4 original residents before Oakdale Lodge was officially opened.
Stephen Haywood, Gary Lane, Robin Green,
And Rodney Howe.
and Ronnie Howe.
That's it? Yeah. And this is from the opening of Oakdale Lodge, and you're the only one here that would have been attending.
Yeah. Very nice. You also people came.
Everyone knows Oakdale Lodge. When you know, we've had different names over the years, different guises, but as soon as you say Oakdale Lodge, we know who you are.
I was 77 this year.
You will be.
Yep.
I'll be 72 this year.
Oh, gee, you blokes are old.
But I have to go be 80.
Oh, no, we had good times, didn't we?
Yeah.
Great times. And some person put cornflakes in your bed.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I do, yes.
I know who that person was.
Sean told you. You?
Yeah.
For his rocket up was.
The lodge was set up as a hostel for people with disability alongside the supported workshop on the hill behind it.
In Hobart, 2 sheltered workshops are in operation, one on the eastern shore at Warrane and the other on the western shore at Glenorchy. Oakdale has sought and obtained a wide variety of work for its young men and women. At Glenorchy is the Walkabout Sheltered Workshop, a name familiar to most housewives who see it on bottles and plastic containers in their local supermarkets.
Yeah, I went to,
Walk about.
I went and walk about, and then I used to take off in a truck all the time. We said to go and bring back some apples for Gran.
That's me.
But we didn't bring no apples back for Gran.
You better put an empty box back to us.
The lodge has changed enormously over the years, and that reflects how our society has changed. Anne and Simon live together in an independent unit on the Oakdale Lodge site. We've come a long way from when romantic relationships weren't a normal part of life for people with a disability.
Love to be here. Oh, shut up.
New Zealand. We went to New Zealand, and when she got back, I went down to Iceland and bought her a ring, all blue on the rings. And she brought me one, a French ring.
And then we ended up getting married.
And then I got married down Sina.
It's a great privilege supporting people to live their own normal but extraordinary lives.
I love him and I like him, and he helps me do duties like washing up and everything like that. And helps me with things. We do ironing. And I help, he does ironing and I put it away for him.
I like her very much. I always care about her. She's pretty.
As we plan for the future at Oakdale Lodge, we are focused on the grassroots action and the intentions of the original Lodge families and the people who have made the Lodge community what it is over the years.
As a teenager, I was always aware of the discussion around the kitchen table about the RCWA and the characters that were involved in that organisation, and inevitably the politics. And there was a whole lot of people that were involved in this. Of course, I remember the Gigneys and the Jeeves in particular because they were the early starters. Their children were older.
Margaret was an absolutely amazing woman. She was there at the beginning.
My mother, she's lovely lady. Look at fun of mate.
I was the secretary and she was the treasurer. And up until her 90s, she was still doing the treasurer's job.
And so they were well positioned to push in our society to get things done. And I know my parents then became actively involved a little longer
Many of our lodge residents are elderly now. From primary school, working life to retirement, the lodge has changed with them. The memories of those that have been a huge part of our lives but are no longer with us are important to all of us.
I know that Robin and I are there. I've got the picture of me with her before she died.
Oh, that's the, when anyone, this is when everyone passes away, and that's where they put their thing on the wall where who's gone from the lodge.
Yes, I know a few lot of people that died. It was a bit upsetting, but I'm right now.
We've been able to support people who choose to die peacefully here in their home amongst family and friends.
It's provided a home for my brother. My parents' focus really was, how can we provide for our disabled son in his older years or later years, and this facility was it.
Lovely, isn't it? Yeah. That's very good. That's my home. I like living here.
The efforts that my parents and all those parents in the 50s, 60s and 70s, the efforts that they made are here. And I just don't see that people make that level of commitment anymore. It just seems to me so a precious thing.
We try and make it family-like, and you know, we love it, they love it.
And I've said to people that I feel like I get a lot more out of it, probably even than the people here do. You go away with that warm, fuzzy feeling that you've done something worthwhile.
It feels good, very good when you, even finish the job. When you go home, it feels really rewarding. It is like part of our family, so I really enjoy it. And familiar with them as well, and that is making difference in our life as well.
Now I know like communication is not only the language, that's like everything, so I can communicate with just like my face and my eye, and just sometimes only I communicate like just
it's like body language sometimes.
Yeah, body language and just like my heart. Yeah.
We'll also be guided by our lodge residents like Patrick and Stuart, who have fresh ideas that will again transform the history of disability support in Tasmania.
I'm just with the guys having a bit of a chat today about the future for the Oakdale Lodge site, but also for them as the current residents and what it means for them. It's been a bit of a time coming, and there's a bit to go in terms of the planning, but one of the aims is for this to become sort of a community asset, surrounded by community and integrated with the community.
It's more community environment where the students from TAFE can come over to the new community site, and also temporary accommodation for the students. They can use this community site as a training ground for them to go on and be support workers within their certificate-free program in community work. So, like this September, there's a whole different community vibe that will be happening.
It's sort of like that whole term of disability I got a problem with too. It focuses on what we can't do. Do you think I sit around cursing the fact I can't walk? No, I look at things I can do, and I'm encouraged to do that.
It's about looking to the future and expanding people's horizons and focusing, like Stuart has said, on what people can do, and like what Patrick says, that their ability to connect with community. but things will shift.
Yeah. As they do.
Yeah, as they do.
Keeping the history of our lodge community and its people helps us remember what's important. Change and innovation have always been a part of the lodge. What will never change is our focus on giving our people, current residents and the people we'll support into the future, the support and opportunities they need to live their best lives.
Three, two, one, cheese!
He's trying to get up on Mary.